Hi everyone. I just wanted to spend a few minutes going over your assignment for this week and showing you some examples and pointing out a few important aspects of the assignment. So here I am in our course and I'm looking at the instructions, and there's a quick reminder about backwards design because this assignment is all about stage 3 of backwards design. So we've already developed for your sandbox, you've developed your outcomes, and you developed some assessments as well to measure those outcomes. And now we're on to stage 3, which is developing the actual instructional content that will help your students to reach those goals, right? So let's jump into my sandbox, and I'm going to click modules and look at module 1 for me, which is my content module that I've been working on. And what we're talking about for this assignment is basically developing the actual content pages that are going to be in your module. Let's see, I've got some examples in here. I've got 2 content pages. So first thing before you create your pages is to remind yourself of what your objectives are. So on your module 1 overview, here were my objectives. I am working on the first one, identify the key principles of citation and academic honesty. And I had already created a quiz that discussed both of those concepts. So now I'm putting a couple of pages into my module that will support the students in being able to take that quiz and achieve that first objective on my list. So to create a new page in your module, and let me make sure you can see this. Here we are. On the very right-hand side of your module, there's a plus button. You want to click the plus button, and you're going to add a page, right? And it's probably going to be a new page, and you give your page a title, whatever you want to title it, and click add. And that will give you a completely blank page to work with. So if you click onto it, it'll be blank, and then you can click the edit button and start adding your content. And what we want you to do is write an introduction to your content and then embed your content. And you're going to find an OER resource and another resource, anything free online, for the second page. And then when you're done, make sure you click save and publish. And another thing I wanted to point out, if we go back to my modules listing, after you've created your pages and published them, to drag them into the spot where you want it to appear for your students. So keep in mind that your students are going to be nexting through the module, right? Just as you've been doing as you've been a student in our class. So you need to put everything in order of how you want them to do it. Right? It's got to be in chronological order. So think about where you're putting your pages. Do they need to come right before the quiz that you've developed? Or actually, would it be better if I put this before the discussion? Is that actually going to be for the discussion? So, you can rearrange these module items and just think about your student. And they're going to be clicking next and hitting everything in the order that you've placed it. So it is important. So let me show you just a couple examples. So one page here. Here's my page with OER. You see I've written a brief introduction, some context, and then here's a video that I found that was openly licensed. And I've embedded it here with some information. And at the very bottom of the page, you'll see the attribution here. Okay, and so this week you're practicing with adding content and giving some kind of attribution. Now, since this is an openly licensed resource, it's an attribution, not a citation, and that information is in the module this week. So it's just really important that you develop your style for how you're going to cite your sources in your class, and then follow that style consistently, whether you're doing MLA style citations, APA style citations, some kind of more informal way of citing. Make sure you're consistent, and it's very nice to have them in the same place every time too, so your students get familiar with that. And it's a great model for your students to cite their own sources, right? And then my other page that I developed as an example, This is not an OER resource, it's not openly licensed, but it is just a free website that I want them to read. And here I've created an MLA style citation for that resource. Okay, so as you're working through your assignment, the very end will be to go back to that overview page where we started and fill out the task list, which I think is pretty straightforward. And so this week and next week and for the remainder of the class, we're just going to be finishing up building out the content in your modules, keeping in mind those stages of backwards design. All right, good luck.